Nice to see you. We're gonna do our New York album from beginning to end, whole thing. This is called Romeo Had Juliet.
Between the twisted stars, the plotted lines, the faulty map that brought Columbus to New York. Betwixt between the east and west, it comes to her wearing a leather vest, their scenes and shudders to a halt. A diamond crucifix in his ear is used to help ward off the fear he's left his soul in someone's rented car. Inside his pants he hides them out to clean the mess that he has dropped into the life of Juliet Bell. And Romeo wanted Juliet, and Juliet wanted Romeo, and Romeo wanted Juliet, Juliet wanted Romeo. Romeo Rodriguez squares his shoulders, curses Jesus, runs his hands through his black ponytail. He's thinking of his lonely room, the sink that by the bed gives off a stink, and the smell of the perfume in her hair. Her voice is like a bell. Outside the streets are steaming, those crack dealers are dreaming of a newsy someone had just scored. I bet you I could hit that light with my one good arm behind my back, says little Joey Diaz. Hey brother, can you give me another toast? Those downtown hoods are no damn good. Those Italians need a lesson to be taught. That cop who died in Harlem, I hope he gets the warning. I was laughing when his brains ran out in the street. Romeo wanted Juliet, and Juliet wanted Romeo, and Romeo wanted Juliet, and Juliet wanted Romeo. Take Manhattan a garbage bag with Latin writ on it that says hard to give a shit these days. Manhattan sinking like a rocket to the filthy Hudson, what a shock. Wrote a book about it, said it's like ancient Rome. The perfume burnt his eyes, holding gently to her thighs. His something flickered for a minute, then it vanished and was gone.
This next song is about a parade we have in Greenwich Village in New York where a lot of people are dying of AIDS. So this is a song about AIDS called Halloween Parade. There's a downtown fair singing out Proud Mary as she cruises Christopher Street. And some southern queen is acting loud and mean where the docks and the badlands meet. This Halloween is something to be sure, especially to be here without you. There's a Greta Garbo and an Alfred Hitchcock and some black Jamaican stud. There's 5 Cinderellas and a leather drag. I almost fell into my mud. There's a Crawford Davis and a Tacky Cary Grant. And some homeboys looking for problems down here from the Bronx. But there ain't no Harry, no Virgin Mary. You'll never see those faces again. And Johnny Rio and Rotten Rita, you'll never hear their stories again. This celebration somehow gets me down, especially when I see that you're not around. There's the Born Again Losers and the Lavender Boozers, a crack team from Washington Heights. The boys from Avenue B, the girls from Avenue D, a Tinkerbell and tight. It's a different feeling that I have today, especially when I see that you've gone away. Now there's no Peter Pedantic saying things romantic in Latin, Greek, or Spic. There's no 3 bananas, no Brandy Alexander dish and all their tricks. It's a different feeling that I have today, especially when I see that you've gone away. There's a girl from Soho with a t-shirt saying I blow, she's with the Jive 2+3. And the girl for paid dates, they give and cut rates, why else they're doing it for free. The past keeps knocking, baby, on my door. And I don't want to hear it anymore. No consolations, please, for feeling funky. I gotta get my head above my knees, cause it makes me sad, sad makes me mad. And then I start to freeze. In the back of my mind, I was afraid it might be true. In the back of my mind, I was afraid that they meant you. At the Halloween parade. At the Halloween parade. At the Halloween parade. See you next year at the Halloween parade. Halloween parade. Wow, wow, ooh. 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 Halloween parade. It's a song about these hotels we got in New York called welfare hotels. It's where they keep poor people. There's a song about that. It's called The Dirty Boulevard. Pedro lives at the Wilshire Hotel, looks out a window without glass. The walls are made of cardboard, newspapers on his feet. The old man beats him cause he's too tired to beg. He's got 9 brothers and sisters. They're brought up on their knees. It's hard to run when a coat hanger hits you on the thighs. No one dreams of being a doctor or a lawyer or anything. They dream of dealing on the boulevard. Get it down. To the dirty boulevard going down. To the dirty boulevard going out.
to the dirty boulevard going down. This room costs $2,000 a month. You believe it, babe, it's true. Somewhere a landlord's left until he wets his pants. No one dreams of being a doctor or a lawyer or anything. They dream of dealing on the boulevard. Give me you're hungry, you're tired, you're poor, I'll piss on them. That's what your statue of bigotry says. Ah, you poor huddled masses, why don't we just go clubbing to death? Get it over with and dump them on the boulevard. Oh, get it out to the dirty boulevard going down. To the dirty boulevard, get it out. To the dirty boulevard going down. Outside, it's a bright night. There's an opera at Lincoln Center. The movie stars arrive by limousine. The Klieg lights shoot out over the Manhattan skyline, but the lights are out on the mean streets. Small kid stands by the Lincoln Tunnel, selling plastic roses for $1. Traffic's backed up to 39th Street. The TV whores are calling the cops out for a suck. But back at the wheelchair, Pedro sits there dreaming. Find a book on magic in a garbage can. Looks at the pictures, looks out up the cracked ceiling. Says by the count of 3, I hope I can disappear and fly away. To the dirty boulevard, I wanna fly. To the dirty boulevard, fly away. To the dirty boulevard, I wanna fly. I wanna fly. I wanna fly high. Fly away. Fly away. I wanna fly. Fly away. Oh, babe, I wanna fly. Hey, fly away. The bias of the father runs on through the son, all leaving him bothered and bewildered. The drugs in his veins only cause him to spit at the face staring out at the mirror. How can he tell a good act from the bad? He can't even remember his name. How can he do what needs to be done when he's a follower, not a leader? The sickness of the mother runs on through the girl, leaving her small and helpless. Liquor flies to her brain with the force of a gun.
in circles. How can she tell a good act from the bad when she's flat on her back in her room? How can she do what needs to be done? She's a coward and a bleeder. Will batter his child, and he'll have endless excuses. The woman, if she marries, she'll do much the same. Thinking that it's right and it's proper. Better than their mommy or their daddy did. Better than the childhood that they suffered. The truth is they're happier when they're in pain. In fact, that's why they got married. For celebration, no time for shaking hands. This is no time for backslapping. This is no time for marching band. No time for optimism. No time for endless thought. This is no time for my country, right or wrong. Remember what that brought. There is no time. There is no time. There is no time. There is no time. No time for congratulations. No time to turn your back. This is no time for circumlocution. This is no time for learned speech. This is no time to count your blessings. This is no time for a private game.
This is a time to put up or shut up. You know we won't be here again. There is no time. There's no time. There's no time. No time. Time is active, frivolous. The time is getting late. No time for private vendettas. This is not a time to not know who you are. You know self-knowledge is a dangerous thing. The freedom of who you are. This is no time to ignore warnings. No time to clear the plate. This is a not be sorry after the fact. The time is getting late. This is no time to turn away and drink. Smoke some vials of crack. This is a time to gather force and take an amen attack. This is no time for celebration. There's no time for saluting flag. This is a time for inner searching because the future is at hand. No time for phony rhetoric. No time for political speech. This is a time for action because the future is within reach. There is no time. No time. There is no time. Oh, baby, no time.
Just wanted to mention something to you. None of the sounds being made up here, none of the music coming from these musicians anyway, use samples. What that means is that we make our own music and we're not taking samples of somebody who's dead or in jail. So, there. For better or for worse, this is what we sound like. Now on this particular song, on this song up here, Bob is going to make the sound of the whale on the cymbals. Aren't you? And Michael over here is going to make the sound of the ocean somehow out of his guitar. Last great American whale. Americans don't care too much for anything. Land and water are the least. Animal life is low on the totem pole. Human life's not worth much more than infected yeast. Americans don't care too much for beauty. They'll shit in a river and dump battery acid in a stream. They'll watch dead rats wash up on their beaches covered with oil. They complain that they can't swim. They say things are done for the majority. Don't you believe half of what you see and none of what you hear? It's just like what my pen friend Donald said to me. Stick a fork in their ass and turn them over, they're done. Well, now that we're all depressed, this, you might say, well, why would you want to have a kid in a world like that, Lou? And I'd say, well, there's a lot of good reasons, and this is a song about that. It's called The Beginning of a Great Adventure. Get lower. Let them feel you. It might be great to have a kid that I could kick around, a little me to fill it with my thoughts, a little here shit to fill it with my dreams, a way of saying life is not a loss. I keep the tag away from school, to him myself, keep him away from the poison of the crowd. Then again, pristine isolation might not be the best idea. It's not good to try to immortalize yourself. Beginning of a great adventure. Beginning of a great adventure. Why stop at one? I might have 10. A regular TV brood, I'd breed a little liberal army in the woods. Just like those redneck lunatics I see in the local bar, with their tribe of mutant in-bred piglets with cloven hooves. I teach him how to plant a bomb, start a fire, play guitar. You see a hunter, shoot him in the nuts. I try to be as progressive as I could possibly be, as long as I don't gotta try too much. Beginning of a great adventure. Oh, beginning of a great adventure. Great adventure. Susie, Jesus, Bogart, Sam, Leslie, Jill, and Jeff, Rita, Fran, Winnie, Andy, and the Jet. Boris, Bona, Lucy, Ethel, Bunny, Reg, and Tom. That's a lot of names to try not to forget. Carrie, Marlon, Mo, and Steve, LaRue, and Jerry Lee, Eggplant, Rufus, Dummy, Star, and the Glob. I'd need a damn computer to keep track of all these names. I hope this baby thing don't go too far. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. She says, Lou, it's the beginning of a great adventure, baby. Lou, beginning of a great adventure. You know what I say? Take it, Lou. It might be great to have a kid that I can kick around, creating my own image like a god. I create my own pallbearers to carry me to the grave when I'm a wise and toothless old clod. Some gibbering old fool drooling on his shirt. Some senile old fart sitting in the dirt. Might be great to have a kid I can pass something on to, something better than rage, pain, anger, and hurt. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. I hope it's true what my wife says to me. It says, Lou, babe, it's the beginning of a great adventure. And I says, Sylvia, how you call your love boy? Oh, Sylvia, how can you call your lover man? And if he doesn't answer, she says, Lou, why don't you take a walk on the real wild side? I says, baby, our love is strange. Oh, baby, 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 our love is strange. song was in a movie. You don't want to know which one? Oh, okay. What'd you say? I can't hear you. Oh, what movie? It's called True Believers. It was in the theaters for about a week, but it's not the fault of my song. It's called Busload of Faith. On your family, you can't depend on your friends, you can't depend on no beginning, you can't depend on no end, you can't depend on no intelligence, you can't depend on God, can't depend on only one thing, baby. You need a busload of faith to get by. 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 Can't depend on the worst always happening. You can't depend on a murderer's drive. Rapes somebody, you can't be sure that she will have to have his child. And if she tries to abort it, pro-lifers will attack her with rage. You can't depend on the worst always happening. You need a busload of faith to get by. 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 On the goodly hearted, they made new lampshades and soap. Can't depend on no sacrament, no Father, no Holy Ghost. You can't depend on any churches unless there's some real estate that you want to buy. You can depend on the worst always happening. A busload of faith to get by. 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 A busload of faith to get by. You can't depend on no miracles. Can't even depend on the air. You can't depend on any wise men. You can't find them cause they're not there. But you can depend on cruelty and crudity of thought and of sound.
can't depend on the worst, always have none.
Oh, you need a busload of faith to get by.
Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Ooh, busload of faith to get by. Well, I was up in the morning with the TV flaring, brushed my teeth, sitting watching the news. The beaches were closed, the ocean was the Red Sea, and there was no one there to part it in two. There was no fresh salad, cause this hive was in the cabbage. Staten Island disappeared at noon. And they say the Midwest is in great distress. NASA blew up the moon. The ozone layer has no ozone anymore, and you're gonna leave me for the guy next door. I'm sick of you. Oh, baby, I'm sick of you. They arrested the mayor for an illegal favor about the Empire State to Japan. And Oliver North married William C. Cord, gave birth to a baby Tehran. Now the Ayatollah's got a nuclear warship. If he dies, he wants to go out in style. There ain't nothing to eat that don't carry the stink of some human waste dumped in the Nile. I know one thing, honey, that's true. This here's a zoo, and the keeper ain't you. I'm sick of it. Oh, baby, I'm sick of you. Radio said there were 400 dead in some small town in Arkansas. Some whacked out trucker drove into a nuclear reactor and he killed everybody he saw. Now he's on board Downey and he's glowy and shiny. Doctors say this is a medical advance. They say the bad makes the good and there's nothing to be learned. Every human experience. I know one thing is true. I'm sick of you. Oh baby, I'm sick of you. Well, they ordained the Trumps, and then he got the mumps and died being treated at Mount Sinai. And my best friend Bill died from some poison pill some wired doctor prescribed for stress. My arms and legs are shrunk, my food all had lumps. They discovered an animal no one's ever seen. It was a whacked out trader eating a rubber tire after running over Rudy Giuliani. They said that the president's dead, nobody can find his head. Been missing now for weeks. But nobody noticed it, babe. He had seemed so fit. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of you. And I'm sick of you. Whoa, baby, bye-bye. Baby, bye-bye. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye.
whites with guns and blacks with clubs fighting in Howard Beach. There's no such thing as human rights when you walk the New York streets. Cop was shot in the head by a 12-year-old kid named Buddha in the park last week. The fathers and daughters lined up by the coffins and the statue of bigotry. Better hold on, something's happening here. Better hold on, there's a riot in Tompkins Square. The dope sent down a message to the cops last week and they shot him in the car where he sat. And Eleanor Bumpers and Michael Stewart, they must have appreciated that. There's a rampaging rays running up like a plague of bullet vials washing up on the beach. Take more than the Angels or Iron Mike Tyson to heal a bloody breach. Hold on, something's happening here. You better hold on, there's a riot in Tompkins Square. Junkie ran down a lady, a pregnant dancer. She'll never dance, but the baby was saved. He shot up some China White, nodded out at the wheel, but can't remember a thing. They shot that old lady because they thought she was a witness to a crime she didn't even see. Whose home is the home of the brave by the statue of bigotry. Hold on. You better hold on. Right in Tompkins Square. You got a black 38 and a gravity knife, but you still gotta take the train. There's a smelly essence of New York down there, but you ain't no Bernard Getz. There's no mafia lawyer to sit in your corner for your 15 minutes of fame. The have-nots are bleeding in the tub, but that's New York's problem, not mine. Baby, hold on. Something's happening here. Hold on. There's a riot in Tompkins Square. You better hold on. Something's happening here. Oh, hold on. There's a riot in Tompkins Square. Hey, riot. There's a riot. Tompkins Square here. A riot in Tompkins Square. Hold on. Mr. Walheim, Hunter, how are you? You have so much in common in the things you do. And here comes Jesse Jackson. He talks of common ground. Does that common ground include me? Or is it just a sound that shakes? Jesse, you must watch the sounds you make. A sound that shakes. Jesse, you must watch the sounds you make. Jesse, you said common ground. Does that include the PLO? What about people right here, right now, who formed you not so long ago? Those words that come so freely, they come dancing from your lips. I hope that you don't cheapen them with a racist slip. Oh, common.
common ground a word or just a sound? Common ground. Is common ground a word or just a sound? If I ran for president once, was a member of the Klan, wouldn't you call me on it the way I call you on Farrakhan? And Pontiff, pretty Pontiff, can anybody shake your hand? Or is it just that you like uniforms and someone kissing your hand? Is it true? The only common ground is without you. Whoa, baby, is it true? There's no common ground enough for me and you. Good evening, Mr. Walheim. Pontiff, how were you? As you both stroll through the woods at night, I'm thinking thoughts of you. And Jesse, you're inside my thoughts as your rhythmic words subside. My common ground invites you in, but do you want to wait outside? Baby, is it true? There's no common ground enough for me and you. Hey baby, is it true? There's no ground common enough for me and you.
Sam was stranded in the jungle. Agent Orange spread against the sky like marmalade. Hendrix played on a foreign jukebox. They were praying to be saved. Those kooks, man, they're fierce and they're fearless. That's the price you pay when you invade. Like Christmas in February. Sam lost his arm in some border town. His fingers are mixed with someone's crop. If he didn't have that opium to smoke, you know, the pain would never ever stop. Half his friends are stuffed into black body bags with their names printed on the top. Christmas in February. Sammy was a short-order cook in a short-order black and blue-collar town. Everybody worked the steel mill there. And then the steel mill that got closed down. Thought he'd join the army and have a future that was sound. Like no Christmas in February. Sam's staring at the Vietnam Wall. It's been a while now since he's home. His wife and kid are gone. He's unemployed, he's an example of the war that wasn't won. He's that guy on the street with the sign that reads, "Please help send this vet home." But he is home. There's no Christmas in February for him, no matter how much he tries to save.
that Lou or Boo? Okay, I just want to make sure. We have so much, and you who have so little, than you who don't have anything at all. We have so much, more than any one man does need, and you who don't have anything at all. Does anybody really need another $1 million movie? Or does anybody really need another $1 million star? Anybody really need to be told over and over when you spit in the wind? Comes back at you twice as hard. Strawman, baby, going straight to the devil. Strawman, going straight to hell. Strawman, going straight to the devil. Strawman, strawman. Strawman, strawman. Does anybody really need a $1 billion rocket? Does anybody really need another $60,000 car? Does anybody really need another president? Or the sins of swagging, part 6, 7, 8, and 9? Does anybody need another politician? Caught with his pants down, money sticking out of his hole. Does anybody really need to be told over and over when you spit in the wind? Comes back at you twice as hard. Don't agree with it. Strawman, going straight to the devil now. Strawman, going straight to hell. Strawman, go straight to the devil. Strawman, 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 strawman. Anybody really need another for the shuttle? Oh, blasting off to the moon, Venus, and Mars. Does anybody really need another rock and roll singer whose nose, he said, has led him straight to God? Does anybody really need another blank skyscraper when you're like me, a minor miracle will do? Flaming sword or a gold arm floating up the Hudson when you spit in the wind, it comes right back to you. Strawman, going straight to the devil. Strawman, going straight to hell. Strawman, going straight to the devil. Strawman, oh, baby, strawman. STRAWMAN. It's a song I wrote for somebody I cared about a lot who died. Sad to say. The world's less for it. Named Andy Warhol, and this is a song for him, which I hope he would have liked, called The Last Temptation, a Dime Store Mystery. Lying, banged and battered, skewed and bleeding, lying crippled on the cross. This is mind reeling and heaving, hallucinating, fleeing, what a loss. The things he hadn't touched and felt slowly stripped away. Like Buddha, not like Vishnu, life wouldn't pass his way again. I find it easy to believe that he might question his beliefs. Reality of nature, human nature, godly nature splits the soul. Fully human, divine, and divided, the great immortal soul. Split into pieces, whirling pieces, opposites attract. The front, the side, the back, mind itself attacks. I've had this feeling before. Descartes through Hegel, belief is never sure. Last Temptation, a Dime Store Mystery.
sitting, thinking, thumping, pondering the mysteries of life. Outside the city, screaming, shrieking, the mysteries of life. There's a funeral tomorrow. The bells will ring for you. What must you have been thinking when you knew that the time had come for you? I'm sorry that I threw away my time on so much human and so much less divine. The Last Temptation, a dime store mystery.